Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. And in this video today, I am going to have maybe a little bit of a rant today. Just wanted to talk about a few things going on Twitter and about Leeds United basically on Twitter. The first thing is the Bamford situation. Yes, he's injured, and I agree with the people that say he's injury prone. We can't rely on him. We can't rely on him because he's injury prone, not because he's a bad striker like some people say. Yes, he doesn't finish all of his chances, but the facts are he's still the best striker at the club, which he shouldn't. Realistically, he shouldn't be the best striker at the club. I'm a fan of Bamford, so people might come at me for that, but I like him. But firstly, he shouldn't be the best striker at the club. We should have replaced him, not replaced him. Maybe that's the wrong word. That's the word that those people banned out. Get him out, replace him, get him out. That's all you hear. All you ever hear is get Bamford out. He's not good enough. And I just sit there and go, well, he's still our best striker. So what sense does that make of getting rid of your best striker? Surely you'll get rid of the other striker that's not performing up to Bamford's level, aka Pirro. He doesn't fit. I think Pirro's a good striker. Not a striker, sorry. I think Pirro's a good footballer. I think he has a great finish with his right and left foot. I think he can finish from anywhere, which is why when we do play the playoffs games, just on a quick thing, if he does get the ball inside the box at any area, I have a faith in him to bang it in the bottom corner or score. You know, I have more faith in him if the ball lands to him and he has a bit of space to hit a shot than Bamford. Still, Bamford all-round game is better than Pirro's. Now, do I think we should have a better striker than Bamford? Yes, as I said. But the thing is I want to talk about is it's not as simple as get him out. It's not as simple as that for some people just don't understand that, I guess. I think Bamford should still be at the club. I think Bamford should be the backup striker. He should be the backup striker at this club. You have Bamford on the bench, and he comes on and gets played whenever the main striker's injured or having a bad game. But then you bring in a striker that can do things Bamford can do, which is not many in my opinion. In my opinion, what Bamford does is it's underrated what he does for this club. Like what he does up front is pretty underrated that people don't talk about. Or the people that like Bamford will talk about it, and then people that don't like him will just cover their ears and not listen to him, basically. But what he does for this club, like the stat came out, off the ball movement, running off the ball, he's only behind Heung-min Son in like 30 leagues. And that's with him. I don't know if I think that's based off this season or is it this year? Let me know in the comments. Is it based off this season or this year? If it's this season, he didn't really play much until January, really. And he's still second behind Heung-min Son out of any player in any 30 leagues. I don't know what 30 leagues it is. I guess it's all the big leagues, I guess. And then like some of the other leagues and of course the championship, you know, all those leagues. I don't know how many leagues. I don't know what leagues they are. But him being second, only behind Son, shows that how much running he does, other players don't do, and that's why we look different without him in the team. Is because he does all this running that we don't see. You don't see unless you're at the game. Unless you're at the game and you watch him, you don't see it. You don't see all the work that he puts in off the ball if you're not at the game. People that go to the game. I mean, I've heard so many times people that go to the games and say he does so much off the ball. He does so much of this. He does so much of that. He's underrated. I believe them because I've seen clips. I've seen videos. I know I've never been to a game. But I've seen the videos of what he does off the ball, and I can see what he does off the ball. I've seen the stuff he does, and I can understand why he suits his team so well and the system so well. The thing is, we need to bring in another striker who's probably a bit worse at the pressing, the hold-up. The hold-up play could be better. I think we can get better hold-up, but the pressing and the amount he runs might have to be a bit less. But the rest of them have to build up, you see? Because Pirro doesn't run, and his hold-up play is not great. The only thing he has better than Bamford is shooting. The rest of it is Bamford clears him in. But shooting-wise, Pirro clears him in. That's just facts. Well, my opinion, but I think that's facts. You look at that and you say, well, why did we sign Pirro? I mean, I think the reason we signed Pirro, we're going on to this Pirro thing. I actually don't mind Pirro. I actually like Pirro. The thing about Pirro is why we signed him is because all the other big clubs were going for him. And we're like, oh yeah, I feel like that was like our last thing of like, they're all trying to get him quick. Let's just throw in some money and get him. He wasn't our first choice. The thing is, once we bring in a better striker, I'm fine with him being the bench option. But he should be the bench option right now. He should be the player that shouldn't be the first choice, but should be used as a player off the bench, or if the main striker's injured, he comes in. And then when the main striker's back, he should be, actually no, he should get his chance, and once the main striker gets back into form, he starts again. But the thing is, we've not really had a striker that could do what Bamford can do. And when I see these things on Twitter about get him out, it just makes no sense to me. It just makes absolutely no sense because No one puts any, like, what's the word for it? No one puts anything behind what they say. All they say is, get him out. Why? Explain why. Because the reason, and then they say, he's injured. Injury prone, I can understand. Should he really be out the team? Should he really be out the Leeds? Not at the club? I think he gets treated disrespectfully by a lot of fans on Twitter. I think he's a good player. That was the first thing I wanted to talk about, and that's probably going to be the end of what I had to talk about with Bamford. I just think people need to kind of leave him alone. And now, if we lose in the playoffs, watch, people are going to try and blame Bamford for it. You watch. If we lose to Norwich, people are going to try and blame him for it. It's good Bamford wasn't fit. Just be quiet. Shush. The other thing I want to talk about from idiot fans on Twitter is the Summerville situation. He didn't smile in a photo. It means he's not committed to the club and doesn't want to be here and he wants to go to Liverpool. Does this sound like someone else's we've done this to, that fans on Twitter did this to? It reminds me of what fans on Twitter did to Rafinha. It reminds me pretty similar what Leeds fans did to Rafinha. Not all, I'm not saying Leeds fans. I'm saying it seems very similar of what the fans of our club did on Twitter when Rafinha was leaving. Everyone's like, his head's in the wrong space. He's off to Barcelona. And they're doing now with Summerville. He's not smiling in a picture. He's not up for it. He just wants to leave and go to Liverpool. It seems the exact same thing. And I put it out on Twitter that it's the Rafinha treatment. Because that's exactly how the fans treated Rafinha before he left. And then he scored that penalty on the final day. He kept us up. He prayed to keep us up. He prayed to keep us up. And he did it. Okay? And people hammered him for the last, I think it was like the last 3-4 games or something, because he wasn't at the level he could have been at. Like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't at but that's different because he was the only player in the team doing anything. He was the only player in the team doing anything, and people came at him like that. Now, and then on the final day, people were like, oh, he does care because he kept us up with a penalty, and played pretty well. But yeah, people are doing the exact same thing to Summerville as what they did to Rafinha. He doesn't have to... What does a photo just show you? What? Because he's not smiling in a photo, it means he doesn't care and he's not committed to taking us up. It's honestly the most baffling thing ever sometimes on Twitter. I feel like Leeds fans on Twitter, and I hate saying Leeds fans because it's not the majority of Leeds fans. It's probably the minority, but it's the minority that gets spoken, it gets put up louder because you just see the idiot takes. But the whole thing is just stupid for me. Like, it just makes no sense. If he didn't want to be here, then why did he what's it called? Why did he not sign for another club? Didn't he say no to a bunch of clubs before the season started? Sounds like a player that really didn't want to be here. And it's so confusing when you hear that kind of stuff, because he's not smiling in a photo doesn't mean anything, and it's the most stupid thing I've ever heard. He's up for it. Game against Norwich, hope we win. I just want to have a little rant and talk about those two things, because especially that picture of Summerville, people blowing that out of proportion. I'm like, what is going on with some Leeds fans? Like, what? I just don't understand it. Rafinha got the same thing as I said. Summerville's now getting it. It seems to happen whenever your best players drop a bit out of form and then don't smile in a picture, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of people getting upset about. It means they don't care. But yeah, Summerville does care. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Bamford's still our best striker. Yes, he shouldn't be, but he is. And that's basically all I wanted to talk about. So thanks for watching the video. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, because I actually want to know. And I'll catch you boys in the next one, which will be the watch along for the Norwich game. Peace.